you so sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, to schedule it.
Hi, it's your girl Kendell Fridays. Welcome to Conversations. I hope everyone had an amazing week. I know I did. Did you have a good week?
I had a great week.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. Every week to make it through was a great week.
I know that. You're so right about that. I woke up every day this week, so it's a great week. No, I'm with you on that. For those of you that don't know, or this is your first time watching Conversations with Kendell Fridays, I am a life coach. I'm a motivational speaker. My main goal in life is to truly help people and inspire people to live their best lives and to live life to the fullest. And I started this show because I wanted to inspire others with my guest stories, their dreams, their goals, going out on a limb, taking a leap of faith, starting businesses, getting through sicknesses, whatever it is. I wanted to tell stories, so that's why I do this show every week. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm here live every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Okay, so I'm very excited about my show today. Everyone has seen the advertisements and the post about my guest today. What can I say about my guest today? I wrote some things, but I'm probably gonna speak off the top for a minute. But let me start reading to see what I come up with. Today's guest is Mr. Tony Scurry. William Anthony Scurry
II.
He's not only the president and CEO of a successful event planning company out of DC. He is my family. No bloodlines, but heart lines. I always talk about, I've known this person 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, because I have a lot of lifelong friendships. But he is the only person that I can say I've known like my whole entire life. Since birth. Our mothers were pregnant together. He's the only one that I can say that came to my first birthday party. He came to my first birthday party. And remember, I gave you the picture, your 40th birthday.
Way back.
Right.
One of the best gifts I got.
Wow. You're welcome. Like I said, we've known each other for many, many years. It's crazy when you think about knowing someone, because we're both 44.
Yes.
And you're like a few months older than me.
Right, because I'll be 45 in March.
Right? Yeah, and my birthday is in June. Yep, exactly.
See that?
Yep. See, so, and it's so funny. My mom was like, make sure you tell everybody you've known him your whole life. I was like, I'm going to tell them. So I'm very pleased to have Tony Scurry here today. He is, as I said, the president and CEO of 7 Point Planning out of DC. So we're going to get into that in a minute. I also had the pleasure with Tony to the inaugural celebration. It wasn't actually the swear-in, but what was it?
We went to a couple of things.
Yeah,
we went to the concert.
Exactly.
And then we stood out in the cold.
Exactly. Freezing cold.
It was bitter.
Yes.
Bitter cold.
Bitter.
Everybody that was there knows.
Right, and all the little pictures we had, I was like,
all wrapped up to your eyes.
Right, I was like we were snowmen out there, but that was like Obama's first term when we had our first African American president. We were there to witness that, so that's really cool.
It was exciting.
And like I told Tony, we lost contact for a while, and I was searching all over, and I guess we reconnected some years. It's been years now, but welcome to Conversations.
Oh, well, thank you. I just want to say congratulations to you.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you for having me here, and I'm really proud of you because you're doing your thing.
Aww.
Really doing your thing.
Thank you, Tony.
Showing, and I appreciate you allowing me to take time and share as well on your platform. I'm looking forward to this, and I'm really proud of you. So,
thank you so much. And that that means so much to me. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And that's my main thing. Like as you know, like a lot of the people I have on there, I know I love them dearly, but I wouldn't be me if I didn't help others expand their brands or expand their businesses or to have a platform to tell their stories. So it's important for me to be able to, if this can help you in any kind of way and you can inspire someone, then I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So I thank you for that. All right, so have some questions here. You all know me, I try to be a little prepared. So as I said, Tony is an event planner.
Right.
Right? So How did you get involved in, just basics? How did you get involved in event planning?
So I started planning events in undergrad.
Okay.
And my father and my bonus mother, my stepmother.
Okay.
We call each
I
other
like that.
The bonus.
I like that.
Right?
I like it.
I went to undergrad for engineering,
Okay.
mechanical engineering, and I was planning events for the different organizations I was involved in. National Society for Black Engineers being one. And I just enjoyed it. It kind of kept me going, right? So after I finished school, I worked in the field for a little while, for about 4 years. But all the while I was working, I was planning events here and there on the side, and I figured, it kind of kept me excited. And I wasn't really getting the same kind of joy out of my engineering job. So I decided to see if I could turn this, what was a hobby, into a profession.
Wow,
So
and that's like living in your passion, really.
Yeah, that's really what it was about.
Yeah.
Me going after what I felt comfortable in and what my passion was. So yeah.
So did you change your major at that point, or did you?
No, well, what I did was I went to graduate school and at GW, and I got an MBA with a concentration in events management.
And that's big. And I don't know if I know anybody that has an MBA in events management.
Yeah, so with GW, back
so you must be serious.
Yeah, very serious.
Right.
So back when I was in the program,
Okay.
Hospitality, tourism, and events management wasn't as popular as it is now. So you can find it at a lot of schools across the country. And you can do a master's program just in events management. But I wanted to be a little more diverse with mine because I knew I wanted to own my own business.
Wow.
So I figured that I needed to get some business background as well as get the event management skills, the education.
That's smart.
To be successful. So that's why I decided to join the two. And the program at GW was just one of the few programs that allowed you to do that. So.
And that's what. So you want to tell the people where you're originally from and how you got to DC because you're doing it in DC.
Yeah. So I was born and raised in Buffalo, New York.
Woo woo. Right.
But I've lived in a few other cities. I lived in North Carolina for a while with my father and family there in Charlotte, and then I went back to Buffalo to finish out high school, and went to North Carolina State in Raleigh for undergrad.
Okay.
And while I was there, I stayed in North Carolina and worked for a while, and after that I came on to DC specifically to go to graduate school. So I left my good paying engineering job, came to DC without a job.
Wow.
But
so you really took that leap. You were serious.
I had it mapped out. I didn't really know how it was going to end up, but I knew what I wanted. And I think when you know what you want and you're serious about it, and you have a plan at least, anything can happen. So by the time I came up to DC a couple of times looking for a job and didn't really find anything. I knew I didn't want to do engineering because I felt that would kind of hold me back from the direction that I wanted to go in.
So when you came to DC, you knew you wanted to be in the event management planning business.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, since I was going to graduate school for that, and I knew at some point I wanted to own my own business.
Right.
So I started looking for jobs in that arena.
Okay.
After being here about a week, I found a job. Boom.
Wow.
So that was the blessing, right? So things just started falling into place for me. And I found a job. It was in the events field. I was working for GW, so they paid for my education.
That already, that's a blessing in itself. Good grief.
If you know the prices at GW, you know
yes,
how much
that's
of a
what I'm
blessing
like.
it was.
Wow.
Yeah, so it just all fell into place for me. So I just kept
That's because
moving.
you knew. See, that's the thing that I try to tell people all the time. You knew what your heart was tugging you to do. You knew what your passion was. Do you know how many people would have just stayed at that good engineering job, collecting that money, those benefits, but you knew what you wanted to do, and that's what really living your best life and being happy is truly doing something that you love. Yeah,
and it's something that I have not looked back on and thought twice about yet.
Wow.
And I don't know if that day will ever come. I'm so far into it now, but I don't expect that it will because it's what I wanted to do. It's what felt right to me.
Wow.
And it worked out very well for me.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I had a guest last week, Jewel, and she's an engineer now, and she's thinking about leaving. She wants to pursue music full time.
Yeah, I saw her
That
show.
is so funny.
But you know, you had another engineer. You had a couple
Yeah,
of
I
engineers.
did. CJ was an engineer too. I'm like starting to think. Am I a magnet for engineers? What's going on?
Right. But don't get us for engineers.
That's so true.
Engineering is a great field.
That is so true. I forgot CJ. I forgot he was an engineer too. That's so funny.
Yeah, it's just not for everybody.
No.
But you know, you have to follow your path and figure out whatever path or whatever it takes to get you there.
Right.
Is what matters most.
Right.
And as long as you find what you're comfortable at
right.
doing and what makes you thrive and
right.
where your passion is, that's really what it's about.
I agree.
So I spent 5 years in engineering school and only practiced for 4.
Wow. See, and then so for all you engineers out there, don't just quit your job and say, okay, maybe this is not my passion. Because it is true that some engineers out there, that's their passion.
Yeah.
Like, that's what makes them happy. Whatever type of engineer you are, like, that might be their passion.
Right.
But if it's not, then you got to go on to pursue your passion. Okay. So looking at your website, and I know we talked before, I wanted to know, and like I said, this is not I guess when you think of event planning, you think of weddings. A lot of people do. When they think of event plannings, weddings, bar mitzvahs, some corporate events, but you have something called the 360 planning module.
Right.
What's that? Can you explain that?
So that was my marketing to give my clients an understanding of what they're going to get from me.
Okay.
Because events are not just about going out and finding a venue
mm-hmm.
and bringing a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's really about creating an experience. Right. And regardless if it is a social event mm-hmm. or an educational event or entertainment, sports, it doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. What you really are there for is to create an experience for those people. So that 360-degree module is what I map out for my clients. So I take their vision and I build on their vision and help them put the pieces together to deliver what they want to deliver, and then I give it back to them. So it takes it,
Got you.
Yeah, and it just keeps going around and around.
So you kind of make their vision better.
Yeah.
Or because you're the expert and they're coming to you for a reason. Because if not, if they had a vision and an idea, then they could just do it themselves.
Right. But it's not always that easy, though.
Right. No, but I'm saying in some people's mind, I know what I want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of people
and then
think
they
that.
had some jacked up events because they thought, it is a skill.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's easier than it looks until they get in it.
Because I will say, like Tony gave himself a 40th birthday party. That thing was hot. Like, it was a good
you just
party.
told my age.
But that's all right.
That's good.
I'm the same
proud.
age. But
right.
you
We already said we were 40.
Yeah, but you don't look it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did I let the kid? You don't tell me.
No, we already.
Okay.
No. We already talked about our age, right? We did that.
Yeah. You know what? I don't mind saying my age because thank God I'm still here.
Yeah,
we were talking about my cousin earlier.
Right.
She got killed at 19.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
So to make it to when my cousin passed, when my cousin was killed, I'm not gonna go too much into that because I'll be here bawling. But she was killed.
She was like a sister.
Yes, she was like my sister. And when Tony came to Jersey, remember all of us? That was like such a good moment. Yeah. You had your hot tub. And when we came, so it's just like, and I forgot, I lost my train of thought talking about her. But I'll get back to that. I can't even remember what I was gonna say. But your party was like the bomb. It really, really was. And this is what it's about. And I'm not an event planner either. I used to dibble and dabble, but I'm nowhere near where you are. But I mean, from the location to the access to the parking, people don't think about stuff like that. To the design, the gift bags. I still got my stuff. Down to every detail. It was hot. And y'all got a picture of me dancing too.
Yeah, right.
Remember some dude I was like getting it, I don't know. but you were getting your life.
That day. That was a good day.
But that was like a good party.
But thank you. And I think when you plan something for yourself and it's personal, it can come off well.
Yeah.
But I think because a lot of people think that they're or are claimed to be event planners. I think that
he said y'all claiming y'all not really.
Well, no. There are a lot of very good event planners out there.
I'm just teasing.
But I think the skill that we bring to the table is being able to interpret other people's visions and to deliver them.
And that takes a special gift.
Yeah, I like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the hard part with planning, because I really appreciate that you enjoyed the event. We got a lot of compliments.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
Because I bought one of my girlfriends and she was like, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah. Well,
it was.
I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for 50 though.
I know, right? So you gotta top that, unless the people don't come to the 40th and then know.
Send out a whole different invitation list, right?
Right, but it was even. I just remember outside. It was like, was it a pit or a fountain or something?
Pit.
I remember. Yeah. I mean, it was hot.
Yeah, well,
it was hot. It was in Alexandria, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you.
So I mean, I've experienced your gift, because that's truly what it is. So what type of, for the people that don't know, and like I said, it's not just about weddings and particular events. What types of events have you done, and with whom? Is there anybody or anything that we may recognize or know, or what type of events do you do?
I don't know if there's anything that you would recognize, but I do a lot of special events, meetings, and conferences.
Okay.
Special events being social events like fundraisers, galas, those types of things. I'm doing a festival in Ward 7 on September 12th.
In New Orleans?
Here in DC, in Northeast DC. Okay. And so those are the special events types of things that I do.
Oh, wow.
And then the meetings and conferences are just that, meetings and conferences.
Yeah.
So I have a lot of my clients are primarily associations or nonprofits, and that's regular associations as well as like charter high schools.
Oh, wow.
And then government agencies, and I work with both federal and state agencies.
See, and when people don't, and I know because I've heard people say this, but people probably don't even realize that when you do go to an event, or you go to a training, or you're going to a seminar, or you're having, certain functions at work, or you've gone to someone's whatever, that somebody had to plan that event. It's not like, let's get some tables and chairs and tell the people what date and time to be there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a gift too, to paying attention to detail, would you say?
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
You have to be very methodical, I think. You have to pay very close attention to detail, like you said, and you have to be very flexible, because there are a lot of people don't realize how many moving parts there are when you're putting an event together. So you have to pay attention to the details and make sure that, if you're moving something from A to B, and then now you have to move A and B to C
to make it work.
To make it work, how important it is, and like those pieces have to happen in a certain order and at a certain time to make sure that you're not really scrambling when it's time to really get into the event and make it happen.
And does your satisfaction come like when you see the smile or the faces of someone you plan the event for?
Yeah, so there are two things that I strive for when I plan an event. One is to have a happy client. Okay,
that's a good thing because they're paying
right,
you.
They signed that check.
So you want to make sure they are right. That's what you want to check.
Right.
And they're going to tell their friends, too.
Exactly. Exactly. And then the
for
second.
another check.
Keep them coming. Right. And the second is to make sure we have happy guests.
And that's important.
Yeah, because it's very, because their experience or their what they get out of it comes right back to you, and it comes right back to that client.
Right.
So you really have to remember what the relationships are. So those
and they may hire you too if they like the event.
Exactly. If they know, sometimes they don't know who we are when we're planning events because we're so far in the background.
Now, do you attend your events?
Yeah.
Okay.
All of them.
To make sure.
Yeah, to make sure everything goes well. I have a couple of planners that work for me. Sometimes they do events on their own on my behalf.
Okay.
But I always try to make a point, if possible, to make and to make an appearance and to make sure things are in order. Because at the end of the day, my name is on it, right? And I want to make sure that, you know, we're being represented well.
And that's important, especially when you're heading the company and people are working for you. So then you have to have people that you know are talented and you can trust their vision, because you can't do every event.
No, you can't.
How did you come up with the name 7 Point Planning?
So 7 has a couple of it has a few significant points in my life. One, I'm an alpha.
Okay.
So
shout out to all the alphas.
It's fine. Yeah, right. So we have 7 jewels.
You
so that started.
Alpha colors today.
No, I didn't. I have on the wrong colors, right? But I have on my lavalier and my
there
number, so I'm
all
good, right?
Because you
and
always
it's always in my heart, right? And then so we have 7 jewels.
Okay.
And in the biblical sense, the number 7 is
completion.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I want to make sure that all of my events are complete.
Yeah.
So, So
I think that's a good name, and it's it sounds so, I guess, professional. I mean, it is a professional business, but it sounds so like you can't. And when I was looking at your website, you can't tell that this black man owns that company. It's like across the board.
Oh,
you know
I appreciate that. I wasn't really trying to conceal the blackness.
No, you're not, because it says president, CEO, head talent, or something like that. So no. You weren't. But what I'm saying is, sometimes in business, I mean, I'm all for, you know, I gotta support my people. I work with my people. I mean, I have to. That's just something that I believe in. But all money is green.
Right. And, but all money isn't good money.
I just had, that's so funny. I just had the same conversation with one of my clients this morning, which is very true. So it's like, I want people to support black businesses. I just do. I want black folks out there, if you're watching, I'm sure most of my audience is black. But I want you guys to support black businesses. I mean, I'm sure you've gotten into conversations with people and they talk about black businesses and how black businesses aren't up to par and they don't do this and they don't do that. And it's a lot of things going on, but you're very professional in your business.
Well, thank you. And I try to be. That is important. And I try
to represent.
To represent well. And you know, sometimes we, as a black business owner, we do get a bad rap, right? Just because of someone's experience with the last black business. So they kind of hold that against all of us.
But how many people go to other businesses and have bad experiences and still go back to other businesses?
Exactly.
You know?
And that's the bigger picture,
right.
I think. So I mean, just because you have one bad experience at a black business doesn't mean that all black businesses are bad, in my opinion. And you just have to be able to realize that you have to filter through some stuff sometimes to get to what you really want. And then, you know, so I think it's important to patronize businesses in your own community.
I agree.
And that's not
black
slight,
communities.
right?
That's
not to slight any particular community.
Right, exactly. And I agree. And it's not a racial thing or anything like that, but I think that's everybody's culture, whatever community you're from. It's important to support the businesses in your community and your culture, because it keeps it thriving, it keeps it going, it keeps the money generating, and also just it almost is a sense of giving back. Right. And making, you know, people proud.
And it's not something that we do very well as black people, as a people, because our dollar doesn't turn over much in our community. My church did something about a year ago, and they talked about how dollars turned over in different communities and how many times it turns over before it leaves the community, and it turns over twice maybe in the black community, where in some other communities like the Jewish community or the Korean community, it's turning over 10, 13 times before it leaves their community. And it has a lot to do with the types of amenities we have in what we like to call our community. Yeah. So we need to start recognizing that.
And I agree 100%, because a lot of people will, like I said, spend money elsewhere and not keep it generating in the communities. And you like right here in Baltimore, when I think about some of the blocks and the different, you know, a lot of businesses are shut down. People aren't, because a lot of people in the neighborhoods don't support, you know, the neighborhood or the community's businesses. Why? And why do you think that is? Why do you think that?
I think they're hard to find.
Okay.
And they're hard to understand. And they're hard to understand what I mean is that when you have a black product in the store, it's probably going to cost 2 or 3 times more than a majority product. So that's the understanding. But but what you have to recognize is that it costs more on the counter because it costs more to produce.
And that's so true
because it's coming in lower volume.
That's so true.
Exactly. So and back to that thing that my church did, they had this speaker come in, and her family of 4, her husband and her 2 kids, they went a whole year and only patronized black businesses.
Wow.
And she said by the time they got 6 months in, they had to drive clean across Chicago to find a grocery store. By 8 months in, that grocery that was owned by that was a black-owned grocery store. By I think it was about 8 months into their study, they were driving across town to a gas station to do their grocery shopping because they didn't have any African American grocery stores to shop at. And she said she was feeding her kids Fritos and sodas.
Well, because she was serious
they were very
about
serious about it.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what she was what her and her family were trying to do was to really realize how hard it is to patronize just black businesses.
Wow. Yeah.
And because of that difficulty, we need to start doing more in our communities to make them more available and to make all things more
I
available.
think about a lady that I used to make hair ties. I still do for locks and natural hair and all of that. And I remember my Brown Star hair tie. It was placed in a black beauty supply store, and the store was really nice. They had all of the, a lot of the I don't know where you're from or where you are, but a lot of beauty supply stores are owned by Asians.
Right.
And she was saying it was so hard. She eventually closed down. She said it was so hard, and when they were the distributors and just trying to get the products, they were charging her so much more than they were charging everyone else. So she just fell into water. The beauty supply store was classy. It was nice.
Right.
It was clean. They had different events in there, different things going on, like hair classes and all this other stuff that you won't see at an average beauty supply store. And I was really disappointed that they closed down.
Right.
Like she said it was so rough. So sometimes it is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I work out of my home primarily. I have access to office space. I try to keep my overhead low as possible.
That's smart.
To make sure that I can sustain from year to year, because I've been independent and out on doing this on my own since 2007.
Wow,
I started the business in 03 and I was able to go out full time in 07. So I've been.
That's huge.
Well, thank you. I mean, it was a struggle for a couple of years. The economy turned, the industry changed, but I was able to make it through. So now we're back on the upswing. We'll probably never get back to what it used to be with all of the, all of the glitz and the glam, but it's definitely turned back to the positive.
Okay, so. President Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, you guys are going to have a little time on your hands. So if you want to throw some events or some parties or even while you're in the White House,
over here on the left.
he's right around the corner. He's right around the corner from y'all. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But how huge would that be?
Yo.
I want to cut a vet.
Yeah.
I would like a piece of that, okay?
I'm going to pull you in.
Right.
Bring me back on
the
the air.
Why is the speaker here? What's she saying? I'll get the tablecloths right. I'll hook it up.
Right.
But that's like do you ever think about stuff like that? I know your mind is not small, so.
Yeah, I think big all the time.
That's so
and
good.
I think, as a entrepreneur, you have to think big in order to keep going.
And outside of that box, you
outside.
have to.
You can't stay in. You can't, because everything. We were talking about technology earlier and how that's really changed the game, basically. But you can't. You have to keep thinking outside the box. You have to keep thinking big. You have to keep thinking about what your next gig is going to be, because if you don't, and the one that you're on right now ends, you have to have something to go to, the next time around, because Pepco is gonna keep calling,
right.
AT&T or Verizon, right, it's gonna keep calling for their money, and you have to keep it coming to them, just like
right.
So.
And that's the difference of ordinary people and extraordinary people.
Well, thank you.
Because I might be biased, but I kind of think you're pretty extraordinary.
Oh, I appreciate it.
You're not no ordinary dude, okay? So, but that's the difference. You can be ordinary or you can be extraordinary. It's up to you what you want to do with your gifts, your time, the perseverance you have, that mind space to go out and get what you want. So that is your dream. What is like that ultimate event you want to plan? What's that ultimate?
I saw that coming. So when I first started doing events, I wanted to get to the point where I'm planning the Grammys.
I know that. I want a ticket. I want a ticket. I want to sit there.
Right. That's where I want to plan. I want to produce.
I know that's
the Grammys.
Right.
Now.
You might have to start at the BET Awards.
Right.
Which is good.
I'll take that.
But I love that you just went straight to the biggest. You went to the Grammys.
That's where I want to be.
I know that's right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna do whatever I can.
And people don't even think about somebody planning it. It's not like they sold tickets, somebody showed up, they got the guests in line, and they just sat down. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they probably plan that a year or two in advance each year.
Yeah, easy.
Some years in advance.
They start that at least 2 years out.
So how long does it take for you? Not even just on the scales of, let's just say, do you even do weddings and things like that, or you don't really do that?
I've been interested in starting to do weddings.
Wonderful.
The catch with weddings is that they're so personal.
Yeah.
And you hear all the stories about bridezillas. Yeah. They're true.
Yeah. I think I've met a couple bridezillas in my day.
And you have a lot of hands in the pot. So you got the mother-in-law wanting to bring something. You have the mother the other mother wanting to do something else. So it takes a special person. And I think I have the patience